Welcome back. Today I'm doing another little DIY project on the boat. You join me standing in the galley, but I'm not actually doing anything in the galley stroke kitchen. It's actually, I'm going to be out on the back at the stern of the boat. I'm not going to actually, well, I'm going to be out on the back deck, but I'm really doing something just inside. I'm putting in a new switch. Well, I say switch, I mean I'm putting in a new socket. So this is what I'm up to today. I have here a new socket, so no 12-volt socket. So it's a waterproof one, so I could put it outside, but I'm not going to. Lift these up and obviously plug various things in, being obviously USB ports. But a few things I want to try and do. Number one is that, so I can plug in my phone and things like that out at the back without having to put the 240 volt on, without the inverter being on, because it's obviously going to run straight off the 12 volts. I have plugs out there for the 240, but not for 12 volts. So that's one little thing. And the other thing is, when I go through tunnels, and I'd like to film a little bit more than what one can see from the back view. And when I bought the new tunnel lights the other day, I think, as I probably said at the time, I purchased 2 of them. Well, here is the other one. What I'm going to do is try and mount this onto a platform where I can tilt it around and sit it on the roof of the boat at the back, and then shine a light somewhere around and film it. So we'll have like a filming light at the back, and that of course will need, I can plug into this as well, and I have here a socket. So I will be connecting that socket up to that. So we'll have that would be plugged in obviously into like so. So let's get on with this little job. I started off inside because I can. I've already crimped on a couple of connectors on here because obviously the cable's not long enough, and I've put some heat shrink tube up over the top. So just like when I did the front, I should pull some heat shrink tube over the top of the connectors just to tidy it all up and make it look quite nice and neat and tidy. So let's get on and put some ends on the cable. There. Cable and so I have set it all up, and there we go. Cable all nicely stripped. And the red one. Lovely jubbly. What I'm also going to do, I've just cut off a few very short pieces of heat shrink, and I'm going to over like so. So every so often down the cable, it just keeps things nice and neat and tidy. Just keeps the cables together. I'll just quickly heat shrink it on there, and it'll be nice and firm and a nice grip on there. But I won't do that until I've actually got all the cable through, but I'm going to feed them on there so they're ready to go. I'm just going to pull those back a bit so I can get to the cables nice and easily. I can connect this end up here as I run the cable from the free end around the boat. So what I can do here in the warm, I'm going to do here in the warm. So there we go, one nice tight cable. I'll put the heat shrink up over the top of that so we can heat shrink that on. Nice and tidy. once again, nice and tight. With the heat shrink over the top again. About even either side of the connectors. So when I heat shrink it on, we'll be good to go. Once again, I'm just going to use one of these. There we go. Nice and neat and tidy. Jobs are good in. And these little pieces I put on here, I'm going to put one right up near to there. So it's going to hold it together from there. There we go, that's on there now. So just going to keep those cables nice and tidy. Now here's the switches I have. Not very many on this boat. Starter switch, spotlights and bilge, that's it. Now I was going to put it up here, which is right by this hatch here. And I was going to fix it on like that, so I could plug in from the top. But then I suddenly realised if I put it there, it means if I want to use it on the roof, I'm going to have the hatch open. And some tunnels are very leaky, so I'll be getting water coming down through the hatch. So I've decided now I'm going to come over to the other side, and I'll put it at the back here, which means I can close the hatch still and run the cables up through. And I think it's going to be less intrusive there anyway. It'll be out of the way more than on the other side. It just means I've got to run the cables a little further, but that's no, I've got enough cable, so that's okay. So it's now time to get on with the job. So my first job is to put a couple of pilot holes in. Now I'm just going to put the first hole in here, basically as close as I can get up there without doesn't really matter where it goes. And I'm going to attach now the brackets up there with the one screw, then I'll drill the second screw hole. That way I know it's in the right place. Right, here it goes. I'm just using a regular screwdriver for this. Now I'll drill the second hole. We'll find a hole in the bracket. There we go. I'm just going to turn the bracket round a bit to make it easier to drill. Right round again. And we'll put that screw in. Nice and tight. So there we go. That's that bit done. Now I'm going to run the cable. I'm not going to be able to film that because it's going to be so awkward running the cable around, but I'll show you it afterwards. So just a bit of an update here. What I've just done is I've put a screw for a cable tie. And I'm going to screw the cable tie in up here. And then I'm going to put the wires through it to pull it tight so it's neat. And I'm running the cable all the way down the back here. And then come down obviously underneath the door and back up to the other side where my fuse boxes are, where the bus bars are. So yeah. I was going to use one of these, you know, cable clips. The problem is I can't get in there with the hammer to tap it in. So that's why I'm going this way, because I'm getting there with the screwdriver. So there it is. Up in there now. What I'll do now is cut the cable back. That's the cable tie, of course. Just trim that off. Nice little neat tidy job. It'll just hold the cable back up there out of the way. So what I've done here, I'm just following the alignment of the 240. I'm just bringing it around. I'll follow it all the way around and bring it back up the other side. I've just removed this cover off of the cables here. Just going to take that out of the way, reveal the cables behind, and once again I'm just going to cable tie these cables to the others just to keep it all neat and tidy. Well, I've just put the terminals onto the end. I've marked up the cable there on the black, on the negative. On the positive side, there's the cover has things on it, and I've got some blank ones, and I'm going to make a little sticker for it. So there's the negative bus bar, and there's the positive bus bar. I'm going to connect them in, and I'm going to fuse it. I know there's not a lot of lights here, but there it is, all connected up. Just got to put the cover back over the positive. I've got to put a fuse in first, so I've got to go and find my fuses and do that. I know what I've done, and I know this is a 20 amp fuse that should go in there because it's a 20 amp socket. I'm only going to put a 15 amp fuse in. I will not be putting anything in that powerful, and just to give it a little bit more of a safety aspect to it. Well, I'm back in the galley. Just found my fuses. To say, I think I'm only going to put a 15 amp in. They're the blue ones, aren't they? Yeah. So I'm just going through my stickers. I don't know if you can see that, but that one says DC outlet. That'll be perfect. I'll just try to put a little bit of light in here. So you can still see there the third fuse up on the left hand side is the blue one I've just put in onto that red cable there. So now I'm just going to put the cover back on with the marker on it. So there we go, the cover's back on, and you can see that up there. I'll try and put some light on there without making it too shiny. As you can see, third one up, DC outlets. All good, I think. So they should be live now. I guess I ought to test them. So I've just plugged in this USB outlet. I have here, I'll put it into shot. This is a battery on. I need a charge for my GoPro. Obviously, I have more than one battery because I have one I'm filming with at the moment. So here goes. Let's throw that in there. Hey presto, it's charging. I got something right. Well, I'm now back inside the boat, as you can probably tell. It's getting quite chilly out there with the hatch open all the time. I did have the curtain across, so it wasn't letting too much cold air coming into the boat. It's still fairly warm in here. It's 19.8, so it has cooled off quite a bit. It was 22 before I opened up the back. It'll soon warm up again now I've got the back doors closed. The next little video I'm going to do is I'm going to be setting up the lights for filming through tunnels. So that's going to be my next sort of DIY on a narrowboat film. Anyway, I hope you found that one interesting. It's just one of those little jobs that I'd wanted to do for a long time, to put a 12-volt power source to the back, and hey presto, it works. Happy with that. Within my capabilities, it's not a difficult wiring job, and I think I did a half decent job, half tidy, and I'm happy with it. It's my boat, so as long as I'm happy, it doesn't really matter, does it? Of course, a big thank you goes out to all my Patreon and PayPals. I actually bought these sockets and the wiring all with PayPal money. So thank you to everybody that's donated by PayPal. it came out of my PayPal account to purchase those items with. Of course, a big thank you goes out to everybody, all the help and all the donations and everything you give me. Absolutely fantastic. I love you all for it. Don't forget, if you're not already subscribed, please do subscribe and hit the old bell notification button. That way YouTube will inform you every time I upload a new video. Just to make sure though, also click the all after hitting the bell button, because yes, you might not get notifications otherwise. That's the all notifications. Well, that just leaves me to say thank you very much for watching. Trevor out.